Like, you're free to use it. I just think it's weird, disturbing, and wrong.
Agreed.
You okay with
to
another
clarify,
adult
I would
around a
not.
child?
But if I saw somebody else do it, the child started it, I'd be like, ha, stupid little kid.
Australia wants to spy on their citizens. Maybe not. Anywho's, they provided an
Maybe
article.
not. This is definitely yes. How to apologize without blaming me. Again, we already said it. It was probably her fault. Would I cave to this demand?
Yes, you're an ethical man, right?
Oh, okay.
You pride yourself in running.
Oh, that changes things a little bit. What's up, guys? We're the Modern Brothers, and welcome back to the Modern Brothers Recap, where we present our favorite topics found in the past week, be it news, pop culture, and whatever else lubricates our rivets. I know we didn't talk about that one. I know we haven't talked about that one yet, but I'm going with it.
The words are supposed to work with each other.
I'm Daydreamer, and this is Satirius, and I make my own rules.
Whatever, dudes. What's up? How goes it? Alrighty, guys. In today's episode, the journalist Jim Acosta interviews AI.
No. Journalist Jim Acosta.
Oh, the journalist Jim Acosta interviews AI. Australia decides that they hate freedom. Shocker. And girlfriends are now mommies?
Yeah, let's get into it. For our first topic, Joaquin Oliver was a teen that lost his life in the Parkland school shooting. The journalist Jim Acosta interviewed an AI version of him that his parents created. So a lot of people are talking about this right now. I thought it'd be interesting for us to look at it too. Okay. Have you seen this at all?
I've not. This is my first time hearing about it.
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin. We definitely need more of that.
Okay. Just based off of that, what are your initial thoughts?
He's not resting in peace anymore.
Doesn't it kind of creep you out?
It's extreme. I wouldn't even say creep me out. This is just wrong. It's weird. Why would you use your dead son for this? Yeah. This doesn't seem right, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Disturbed him. I don't know. Something seems weird about it. That's all I have to say. Continue.
I think disturbing is a good word to use, actually. But so in this interview, it's more than just that. But that's pretty much all they're showing. But it also goes on to ask. And again, if you want to see the full interview, we'll link it down below.
But you know what's even worse? Like, what if I don't know if he was against it or not, or for gun usage, but like now you're using your son for propaganda.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get into that? Because
So, but before we get there though, so the journalist Jim Acosta was asking him like his favorite movie, basketball team, player, what he liked about his favorite movie, and the AI was answering, right? And so that's kind of what you hit on earlier right now. My first issue is you don't know if with time his favorite movie would change or his favorite basketball team, it probably wouldn't change, but favorite basketball player might, stuff like that. And to me, to just keep him just stuck in that one little spot for the rest of his life is sad,
honestly. Well, the AI thing is disturbing to me. To keep things like that attached to him, I don't think it's that weird, because when you're wow, where are my words at? When you're saying a few words about him, you're going to be talking about things you know of him at the time, right? Yeah,
you're remembering. Yeah, I guess you make a good point. You would remember them as they were, but to keep them saying like this is my favorite movie versus this was my favorite movie,
I do think it would have been worse if they try to evolve him in some way, like making assumptions of what he would like.
Sure, that would be worse. You're right, but I'd still think it's it's still bad to keep him in this place forever.
Well, even then, like I said, I go back to the idea that when we pass, that most recent memory of us is going to be what they are going to keep forever, right?
Anyways, moving on. So this was the parents' idea. They are fully on board with this. And so here's another part of that same interview, which I think is sad. So he goes on to interview the dad as well. And so this is that part.
Which is something that Patricia loves. Patricia will spend hours asking questions. Like any other mothers, she loves to hear Joaquin saying, "I love you, mommy,"
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Patricia's the name of his mom.
Okay.
And so I just thought that comment was really sad. How Patricia will spend hours asking him questions. Does that not make you sad?
It does, but okay, now here's a contradictory thought, right?
Sure, okay.
Like this is the closest thing you're ever gonna have of your deceased loved one.
But let him go.
I know, let him go. And no, well, let him rest in peace. Like this is the AI thing is weird, but I understand why she's asking this AI figure something. Like at some point she's having a real hard time grief.
I understand it too, but I don't find it healthy. I understand why you would do that, but I just think like you need to focus on moving on.
It's not
holding
healthy.
on to this last thing. And it's because now imagine if the AI for some reason got corrupted or whatever and it got deleted. Would that not reintroduce a whole bunch of pain to this mother?
Well, absolutely it would.
Which is what I think is like you're not moving on in a healthy way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's another part too I thought was very this one's interesting, and I do find it more on I'm curious to see what you think. Let's hear it.
And what's amazing about this, Manny, is that, we've heard from the parents, we've heard from the politicians. Now we're hearing from one of the kids. That's important.
Just what do you think about just that statement?
It's still wrong. No.
Super wrong. You're not hearing from one of the kids. You're hearing from one of the kids as the parents have created it.
Yeah, I know.
That's wrong. Now the parents keep saying, "Well, we've used things that he wrote, that he posted, whatever. It's a accurate representation of who he was." Fine, but it's still not. You're not hearing from him.
I sympathize with the fact that there's a potential. This is the closest thing you're going to get to a live version of deceased, but it's still not okay, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it goes wrong, because you're going to get so fixated on this one thing that you might blur the reality a little bit.
Exactly.
You might blur the reality.
You also might
because now you're creating this perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll get into the idealized version right now in a bit. But but before we get into that, here's the last segment of this that I wanted to show you.
Yeah. Moving forward, we will have Joaquin on stage in the middle of a debate. You know? And his knowledge, you saw it. His knowledge is unlimited. And he's.
What do you think about that?
No, that's not your son. Well, what do you mean by that statement? Respectfully, that is not your son. Like, you created this thing that helps your ideology, your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What if your son was completely opposite of that, right? You're creating this memory of someone who probably wasn't your kid. Now, if you truly believe this kid was expressing what you believe and you want to use that, I guess, but that's still wrong in my opinion.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, I think you're free to use it. I just think it's weird, disturbing, and wrong.
Agreed. I think it's also, who wants to debate an AI recreation of a dead child? Like, I wouldn't want to debate that. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. But it's also like, I would be in that situation, and I imagine they brought them up. I'd be like, "You sure you want to do this? Like, this is your deceased child. Like, what are you doing here?" I would just ask, "Are you okay?" Like, why would you have to? Why are you going through all this? What do you think you're trying to achieve here with this?
I wouldn't want to debate something like that. Like, that's insane to me. I wouldn't want to debate AI as it is, but an AI of a dead child is even worse in my opinion. I would not want to debate that. I would not do it. That's crazy. Okay, so other than the obvious issues of like not being able to move on, there is also that last issue that we keep touching throughout, is that they're creating this idealized version of their son. That's what's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way about any funeral or sort of proceeding where they're remembering somebody. When I die, I want, if you outlive me or whoever outlives me, to be like, yeah, that dude was a jerk. that dude sometimes said some stuff and like I didn't like it, but you know what, he was still cool. That's what I want it to be said. I don't want it to be said like, oh, he was so nice and kind and everybody he touched like was better off for knowing him. No, that's not true. You know? And so in this AI thing, that's kind of what they're doing in terms of like so I did watch the entire interview and he's talking to the guy. I'm just like, this doesn't, I didn't know him, but I've known a lot of 17-year-olds. I don't know if they talk exactly like this. You're creating this ideal version of your son, and I just don't think it's healthy.
It's really confusing me as to why they thought this was a good idea.
I know.
It's very much disturbing.
Very
I think
disturbing.
if you were trying to fight against gun violence or whatever, there's so many other ways you could do this other than. Yeah. This feels like it's crossing a line, does it not?
It does. It feels so weird. I think disturbing is the best word that we could use to describe this. Okay, so final thoughts. do you think this is healthy, and do you support using AI in this way? I think we've already kind of answered them. But
no. I do not. Yeah.
Not healthy.
I do not think it's healthy, and I do not support this.
All right, yeah, I agree.
It's crazy.
Alrighty, let's move on. Let us spin the wheel, shall we? Oh, unless you have anything else.
If I had it.
Oh,
give me a second.
Did you stop it,
dude? This thing, I was dragging a little bit, but I do think it.
All right.
I think it's Arbiter's Oath. That's what it is.
Okay, fine. I don't think this needs an introduction. Let's just watch the video real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Oh. Okay.
Did she? Oh my gosh.
So for this Arbiters of, obviously we're deciding if the girl in the blue went too far. The younger one. What do we think?
Yeah, I think that was too far. That's an older lady. You have a clear advantage over this lady.
I agree.
You had no right, and I might be messed up for thinking this, but do you think the old lady faked the fall? Or no? I want to ask the question. It's just like, honestly, if you got hit, you're leaning the other way. Unless it was a delayed
and
faint.
You fall that way? I don't know.
And then you fall
that way? I think she did. I agree, though. I do think it was too far. But look, according to our other rules, this would be okay.
Because of the fact that she pushed first.
She started it.
We saw.
She wasn't backing down. The other lady really didn't hit her that much. She got like one good slap in. That was it. But just the fact that it's an old lady. I'm all about lessons. But in this case, I'm like, nah, she's lived long enough. Like, she don't need to be teach lessons. She's on her way out as it is. Like, she's not going to be a bother to society for much longer.
Again, I do think that the reason why I feel like the younger lady is at fault is you need to be better at holding your emotions in instances. I get it. She put her hands on you, but like,
just because it's an old lady, though, right?
Yeah. What if a child had done that to you? Would you have gone and attacked the child?
Yeah, he's going to get it. He's fine. How old is the child?
10.
I do think children need to be smacked around a little bit more.
By a stranger though. You're a grown adult.
Oh, me? No,
you have no relationship to this child.
No, me, I wouldn't. No. But I was thinking that, like, if I saw somebody smack a child that wasn't mine and the child had started it, I'd be like, you get what you deserve.
Here's the instance though. Okay, not to make it too long. The younger lady pushes, stares, and slaps hard, right? And the child's pushing me, I would probably hold the child back, tell the parent, grab your child, right? Like, by no means am I going to push this child, walk up and slap the child.
Oh!
It's not my place, right? And if I saw an older man do
you're adding a bunch of stipulations. You said, not stipulations, but you're
in situation.
No, because you said you would tell the child. This woman was unaccompanied. I'm assuming the child is unaccompanied.
Oh yeah, because a 10-year-old is going to be on the subway by himself.
I would walk pretty far when I was little. I remember I'd walk all the way to Jack, and it was like 3 miles from our water store by myself at like, what was that, like 6th grade? Well, I forgot when we had the store.
Different upbringing. Sure, I'm adding stipulations, but even still, I just don't.
Sure, if the child had parents, they're within view. No, I wouldn't either. I'm not.
And I don't think it'd be okay with
to
another
clarify,
adult.
I would not. But if I saw somebody else do it, the child started it, I'd be like, ha, stupid little kid. Now, obviously, if she's like beating the child up, I'd be like, all right, get one more in and stop, because that's enough. but other than that, no, I'm just kidding. If she was beating on the child, yes. But I'm just like, one for one, you replace this lady with a child. The response she gave to me was fine. She pushed him back a little bit and she smacked him. Like that's to me is fine for a child. The old lady, for some reason, it hurts my heart differently.
It does hurt to see older people hurt like that, but even still, I just think it's, even if you were to put a child there in the instance, I don't think I would want to see that on a child either. I think the adult, the more capable adult should hold their restraint because they know they can do way more damage.
But again, that's not consistent though.
No, because
if this was two guys, one guy was clearly bigger, the smaller guy attacked him. Do you not think do you not think the smaller guy deserves to get pummeled?
He's an idiot. Well, the smaller guy is an idiot for taking on a smaller guy.
But you're saying the bigger guy knows he's bigger. He should show restraint because he knows he's stronger.
No. I'm not talking.
You know what I
I
mean?
get that logic. I get that logic. Yes, I get that logic, but there's a difference, right? You know that there's a clear, like the age difference is a different category than a much muscular bigger guy and a smaller dude, right? But they're both of the same age and both capable of fighting dudes. I think that's the difference. Whereas I think the older lady is not that child capable of doing that. But I would perceive two older gentlemen of the same age, regardless of their size, to be able to take on the situation, right? They're both of equivalent capability, regardless of one being stronger or fatter or whatever. The older lady versus a younger lady, I don't think is the same.
Again, we'll have to agree to disagree because we're going too long on this. But yeah. Ultimate decision.
Well, we both agree
that this was too much. Yes. Yeah. We just brought in the stipulation of children. To be clear, I would not hit the child, but if the child got hit in front of me and I saw that he started it, I'd be fine with it. I'd be like, look at this stupid little kid. I think children deserve more discipline than what they're currently getting.
Children deserve more discipline by their parents. By a stranger.
Again, if their parents are nearby,
the stranger should just be able to push.
If their parents are nearby, and I know that they're their parents, sure, yeah, I'll be like, hey, get your child before I hit him, like that. But if they're not, I'm doing their parents a favor by disciplining the child. Again, or watching the child get disciplined. Because again, I would not touch the child.
Carefully.
To be clear, I would not touch the child. But if somebody else did, I keep talking like if I'm going to do it, I wouldn't do it. But if I saw somebody else do it, there were no parents in sight. What happens?
All in all,
so long as the child
in
doesn't
this
get
situation, all in all, in this situation, we both agree too much on the old lady.
You really derailed this. This is your fault. All right, moving on. Next story.
Well, Australia is mandating age verification before internet usage. The heck does that mean? Anyways, we were watching Her Take, and we're gonna go ahead and let them introduce this topic.
Yes.
To Australia, often dubbed the test kitchen of the world, just finalized a law that will require users to verify their age or identity before using search engines like Google and Bing. So this mandate rolls out December 27th, 2025, and it applies to anyone logged into a search account with enforcement backed by massive fines. Up to 50 million Australian dollars per breach. So is the goal to protect kids or like blow online anonymity? How's this going to work?
Spy on citizens.
Yeah.
Australia wants to spy on their citizens. Maybe not. Anyways, they provided an article.
Not. This is definitely yes.
We're making a drastic assumption. And this is certainly what it seems like. If not, it's a tyranny. This is all tyrannical. They want full control.
It's not an assumption. This is they for sure want to spy. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Anywho's, on Her Take, they provided they didn't provide the article, but I saw it on the little screen that they showed, and so let's pull that up.
Okay.
Right. It's a long article, so we're not going to read you the whole thing. But we're going to give you the highlights of what we thought was most important. All right.
If you want to read the full thing, it will be linked down below.
Yes, it will. At the end of June, Australia decided that they're going to force companies, Google and Microsoft, to do age verification on all users.
Google and Microsoft. Interesting.
Yeah, Google and Microsoft, right?
Oh, Bing.
If they don't, they will be fined $50 million per breach, whatever per breach means.
Yeah, what is that?
So at first I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are being forced against their will. They got an ethical situation on their hands and they failed. And Daydreamer was like, oh no, dude, they totally want to collect that data.
Yeah, so Satirius was thinking that Google was fighting. I highly doubt it. Google probably just was like, all right, sounds good.
But here's the difference though. Now Google is being told they have to do that. Right? And let's say they slip even just a little bit, they're going to be fined $50 million. So even as someone who loves to collect data, you don't think an ultimatum like that is like, what the heck am I signing up for? That's so frustrating. Like, regardless if they love collecting data, they're doing this now against their will. They have no other option.
Sure. I don't know.
That's the frustrating part to me, though.
I really wish they just pulled out of Australia and be done with it. That would be the actual ethical thing to do, is for them to pull out of Australia and be like, okay, we're not doing business.
I agree. Like, no, we're not doing this.
They'll never do that.
You cannot force us to do that because they value collecting data more.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Maybe. I have no idea, but that's what's frustrating.
I don't either. I'm just fully based off everything I know. I am making a big a reasonable assumption, I would call it.
I guess. Anywho's, what are they trying to block? Essentially, pornography, high-impact violence, material promoting eating disorders, what the heck, and a range of other content. Dude, it's endless. Essentially, at a snap of a finger, Australia can just force any sort of content control.
Censoring the internet.
They're
That's
censoring
crazy.
everything. And as I'm seeing it, based off the next bit we highlighted, this is all under the radar. They are not getting any consensus, any agreement, any vote on the citizens.
Okay.
So essentially, what Australia is doing is says you're going to have to deal with this, and you have no say. Right? That's what's frustrating about it.
Okay, here's the counter argument, because this is what I always hear. Where they're like, you need an ID at a video store. When you used to have to go to a video store to get pornography or whatever, you would need an ID to buy that. Any sort of adult content, whatever that may be, you need an ID to buy that. That is what the argument is. So we are protecting children by requiring them to present that ID to make sure children can't access these harmful things.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea that you brought up, because I agree. I do think, and you're right, I do think we should stop having internet porn on the internet and bring it back to the stores and the videos where someone had to physically go and get the porn, right? Personally, because porn is degrading, porn is destructive, and I do think.
But just any sort of get away from porn. Just
fine.
You're dirty-minded heathen.
I'm just no. You said porn.
You said porn.
Did it?
I don't know. I was gonna try to gaslight you there, but you caught me, didn't you? No, so okay, but get away from that though. Just any adult content. I don't know what that would be. What else you would filter?
Well, porn is the worst of the adult content. What else?
Okay, high impact violence, material promoting
that's like
eating
the video
disorders.
we just watched.
Right.
I don't think the government has the authority to control that. Is what I'm saying.
I agree.
Those discussion questions will come in a. Right?
Okay.
Going back on track, they're saying they're doing this under the guise of protecting the kids, right?
Right.
Do you actually think that's true?
No, it's never true. When they no one cares about the kids. They just don't.
So what's the bigger play here then? Right?
Data collection.
Well,
data
that
collection
would be Google and Microsoft.
and
But what about
controlling
Australia?
of the information, huh?
So Australia, I think, is just full on controlling. Just controlling. They want to control the citizens. Google and Microsoft, sure, they want the data. But Australia, what's their intent in all of this? Anywho's, if you truly wanted to protect the kids, then you would probably do this in a different manner. A reporter from Sky News presents this pretty ironic situation that goes against this whole protecting the kids idea.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me pull up.
Riddle me this. If this is about protecting children, why, as Senator Matt Canavan discovered today, why isn't Pornhub the biggest pornography platform in the world? Why isn't it included on the list of websites that kids will not be able to?
Right?
What?
Okay, that's hilarious because it makes a good point. But I think I might have a counter. Playing devil's advocate, it's much easier to censor the search engine to make sure that the searches don't appear, versus to go to every pornography website and make them all conform. I think that'd be much more difficult to do. You get me?
Then you could have
it's not just Pornhub. There's plenty of other sites out there. So you'd have to.
I know.
You'd have to make every single site follow these rules, versus you're just making these search engines follow the rules. That's just me playing devil's advocate, though. I don't fully know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Then why not just have the search engines put on, parental controls, right? That exists, and you can then block anything that's associated with that type of language.
Yeah, this goes back to what we always say: we leave the parenting to the parents, not the government.
Agreed, but you don't need age verification for that. So you're going to let them go as far as being able to get to the website, and then at that point, you do age verification.
But you're right. I think it's the control of information. They're starting to get there. They're starting to want to get to the control of information.
Right.
Do you know what documents they need to present?
Yeah. So they essentially, in that same article, you go down way lower, they give you, there's 7 main methods is what they call it.
Okay.
So it's not even, these are methods of discussion. These are the methods that they're going to be utilizing, right?
Okay.
The first one, photo ID checks. Now, there are a lot of websites that you need to present your ID for verification of who you are. Mm-hmm. Right. But those are adult websites. And when you're an adult, like if you're going to go into that website, you're signing up for that. Right. But the way that I'm understanding this is that the search engine, even before you do any sort of search, is forcing you to present that ID.
That's insane. Uh-huh.
Exactly. There's face scanning, age estimation tools. What if you just look young? I mean, that's not like an argument really, but what if you look young?
That's so stupid.
They'll keep you from using it.
See, that's data collection right there. They want something. They
Exactly.
want more information.
It's an estimation tool. Like, if you can't guarantee this is going to get my age right, why the hell do you have it?
Well, redundancy, but yeah. I could see a good argument for why you need redundant checks. I think that's. But in the case of the government, I don't trust them. But if I'm playing devil's advocate,
nowhere does it say though that they're doing all of these, right? It seems like these are all potential ways of verifying your age.
Okay.
Right? There's credit card checks, digital ID, vouching by the parent of digital ID.
Yeah.
I don't know. If anything, it's like a digital. I know that Arizona has driver's licenses. Maybe that.
Oh, okay. Move on.
There's vouching by the parent of the young person. That one kind of seems more reasonable. If it's just like a push notification. Using AI to guess a user's age based on the data company already has.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, what the heck, dude?
Wild.
And then relying on a third party that already has checked the user's age. So like all of this is just data collection. And for what?
That third party one scares me the most. Relying on a third party that's already checked the user's age.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's terrifying because that can be implemented. If it's a third party, that can be implemented across industries. That doesn't just stop at a search engine. That's scary.
And so the database needs, all these databases need to have your actual legitimate information, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order for this to truly work, right? There still exist workarounds like VPNs. I think if they're not using all these methods, you could probably just use your parents' login. Granted, they don't have like any sort of facial recognition.
The parents probably have to have the parents
Which
already have
crazy,
to do it.
like,
that's crazy.
So everybody has to do it at this point. It's not just for the kids. Everybody's affected by this because a kid can just simply circumvent the system by pretending to be their parents or someone older. I'm heated about this because, and now I don't have like true evidence, but according to her take, 25 states are supposedly drafting up a similar
here in the US
regulation here in the US, dude.
I like to think that would never happen.
This is not going to stand, America.
Yeah.
We can't allow this to happen. Anyways, some closing thoughts on this.
Okay.
If you were the CEO of Google or Microsoft, would you cave to this demand?
Would I cave to this demand?
Yes. Okay, I want to do it two ways.
Okay, go ahead.
You're an ethical man, right?
Oh, okay.
You pride yourself on running.
That changes things a little bit.
You pride yourself on good ethical means of running your business.
Assuming I'm ethical, I pull out. Yeah, for sure.
Easy.
I would
okay.
say
Now,
no,
assuming you're not ethical,
I'd be like, how much money are you gonna give me? And that'd be it. That'd just be the money.
All right. You sort of answered this earlier. I agree. There is harmful content out there that should be regulated. But do you think it should be the government regulating this content?
Some stuff, yes, but most stuff, no. This falls under the most stuff.
What would the government regulate though?
In terms of, because you said content, what do you mean by that? On the internet,
because
movies.
The way they said it,
we don't allow kids to go into R-rated movies. I think that's government regulation. I think that's fine. I think, right? The FCC,
why is that government regulation?
We don't allow kids who are under 18 to watch rated R movies. Is that not government mandated?
No, we advise kids to not do that, but parents can still take their kids to go watch an R-rated movie.
Oh, true,
right?
Oh, you're right. Okay, what about the FCC?
I don't think they regulate that.
That doesn't allow like nudity on the screen. That's for the kids. That's government regulation for sure. That's not the parents.
For certain time frames, right?
Nudity is never allowed, in my opinion. As far as I remember, as far as I know, nudity is not allowed on like public stuff, public airways or whatever. Things like
Standard
Netflix
airways?
are different, yeah. But and like the government doesn't allow you to like flash people in public. That's also government regulation, and that's to protect the kids too. I think that's fine. So that's what I'm saying. Some things, yes, like the government should.
They're not doing it at the pride parades. Sorry.
Right, but that's them not doing their job. But so some things, yes. Most things, no. Most things should be left up to the parents. We do regulate things, and I am okay with it. And it's on behalf of parents, but for the most part, parents should be in charge.
Anyways, don't let Australia take advantage of us.
Let's spin
and don't
the
let
wheel.
those 25 or 27 states do it either.
Let's spin the wheel. Okay, we got a cringe battle. We haven't gotten this one yet. All right, here's mine. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
started laughing. It's hard for me to watch that, dude. I'm cringing.
That was kind of funny.
All right, let's see what yours was. I think mine was cringy. I think I win. This was pretty cringy, though.
This is very cringy. I think yours is at least a form of comedy. I think she's serious about this, and this is what's weird, dude. Like you're doing this. I don't want kids, and like someone says "mommy," and you're like, "Ooh, my natural instincts kick in." What is this?
Okay, you're right. No,
Either you're a mom or you're not.
You're right. You win.
This is annoying.
All right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It frustrates me.
Dang. Anyways. Okay. Put on the counter 1-0. I don't know. I'm gonna have a running counter of like the cringe battles. How many we've won?
Oh, okay.
So you have 1 point. I have 0.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Moving on. Next topic. Final topic. I was watching one of my favorite YouTube shows, Pop Culture Crisis, and they brought up this story which I thought would be interesting to talk about. So I shall let Mary introduce it.
So I came across a thread over the weekend, started with this statement. I can't believe a guy tweeted, "So many things you don't know till you get a GF." His example was, "She told me I could open the window to let a breeze in." And what ensued in response was just countless examples of men who don't know basic common sense. They haven't learned basic adult functioning tasks. And they need their girlfriends to mommy them and teach them these things. And they're being called the mommy girlfriends. And
okay, I take issue with her saying basic functioning tasks. A lot of these aren't functioning tasks, or basic maybe, but you don't need them to function. You get me? Like opening the thing to let a breeze in, like that. That's not. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah. No. Okay.
To preface, okay. So that was the initial topic, and just to preface this, I will be taking the role of the adamant defender of the men, no matter what, and Satirius will just be playing himself.
Okay. All right. I'm Satirius playing myself.
Okay. So she then proceeds to make a list naming some things that guys did not know.
Okay.
Some of them, again, no matter what, I'm gonna defend them. But I just my acknowledgement really quick that some of them, okay, I think the girls are lying, and then other ones I can see how. But no matter what, I'm gonna try to defend them. Okay, ready?
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
They legit don't know things, and you get to teach them shit like you can go back to sleep if you wake up in the middle of the night. Once a man didn't know who his best friend was until I pointed it out. It's so fun.
That's BS.
Okay, what do you think about just that point right there? Once
going
a man
back to sleep?
No. The going back to sleep was ridiculous. That's I'm not.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But the other one, which said once a man didn't know who his best friend was until I pointed it out.
No.
Did you hear that part or no?
Not. Yeah, I did. Absolutely not.
You don't believe it, or?
I don't believe it. There's no way.
All right, hear me out. Watch this. Someone like our group, yes, we have established like best friends. We've known each other since forever. But think about somebody like, I don't know, Gabriel. I don't know who his best friend is. I don't know if he knows who his best friend is. Sometimes we don't care to classify it. Story. Who's Story's best friend? Exactly. He has a lot of good friends, but he doesn't. I don't know if he would know who his best friend is.
Maybe he does.
And maybe his girl was like, "Oh, well, who do you talk the most to? Who do you confide in? Blah blah blah." And then Story would come to the realization of like, "Oh, this is my best friend."
Interesting.
And
I guess maybe you and I are just so already locked in on that we know it.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm like 90% on that one.
Because I only saw in two extremes. You either have a best friend or you just don't have friends.
What? No, that's not no.
No, it's just like you don't. The reason why you don't have a best friend is because you just really don't hang out with people.
Again, he's not saying he didn't have a best friend. She was saying he didn't know who his best friend was. There's a distinction. I can see that happening, and I'm like 90% on this one. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Here is another one. Today, my boyfriend said that he was going to cook me dinner. After waiting for the frozen pizza that he decided to make for me to be completely cooked, he said, "Oh, I hate this part." Reached into the oven with his bare hands and took out the pizza while screaming.
What do you think?
I think the guy was just being dumb.
Do you believe it? You think it was true?
I think he was just trying to be cute to his girlfriend.
Okay.
If it was true.
I don't think this one was true. I think the woman was lying. So. But here's my defense. I could see someone like, no offense, Gabriel. I don't know why. He's the first guy that popped to my mind of doing something like this, of being like, oh, I guess I just gotta man up and get the pizza out the oven myself. Like,
That's a different thing.
I
That's
can
a
see him
different
doing
thing.
that.
There's doing it because you're just a man and you don't need mitts, and then there's just like, it's a hot thing. I think it is common sense. You don't touch hot things without some sort of hand protection.
I'm 10% on this one.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm 10% serious on this one.
I think if that story was true, it's because that guy was just trying to either be machismo or he's trying to be cute.
Yeah,
right?
no, I don't even think this story was true. I think this is a lie, but I'm just trying to defend everything here. So,
Stop being dumb, man.
But my first thought was like, I don't know why it was Gabriel. I'm just like, yeah, I can see him doing something like this.
He's trying to be machismo.
Okay, here's the next one.
She said, I slept with a guy once who insisted that his bathroom floor was soaked every time he took a shower because he was so tall. Then I took a shower at his place and he got mad at me for moving the curtain liner into the shower and getting it wet. He didn't know how curtain liners work.
Do you remember? Do you... when we went to Mammoth and Gabriel got the whole freaking floor wet because he didn't know to put the liner inside? Need I say more? Gabriel, I would consider him, I know he doesn't sound the smartest, but he is one of my more, he picks things up quick. I do consider him smart, even though he's not necessarily book smart. But somebody, no offense, like Barbosa, was in the same situation as Gabriel, I do think he would be like, that's weird, and then move on. It wouldn't be until it happened a couple of times where he'd be like, guys, I think my tub is leaking. I can fully see that playing out in my head, dude. Love you guys. Shout out to the squad.
They have shower doors. I think that's why.
So Gabriel always had shower doors. That was
yeah.
the explanation he gave.
If you don't grow up with the tub, I think I can see where why would it be on the inside of the tub? It's gonna get wet.
He had shower
Especially
doors.
in hotels. They have cloth liners.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird thing. Is like at home we have a plastic liner and the cloth liner sits outside the tub, right? It's a dual liner or dual cover. That's hilarious.
Yes,
because common sense versus not, I would say that is not a common idea. Like if you don't have a tub, you're not gonna know that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, here's another one.
My ex taught me that you could turn on the water before getting in the shower. I would just get in, turn on the water, and be miserable until it got to the right temperature for my whole life.
That was his.
Do you believe that one? First, do you believe it? No?
No. I just don't. There's no way you could not even on your own think, let me run this at one temperature. Let me find the temperature first.
The thing is, I don't do that. I don't wait outside. I just get in, turn on the water, and yeah, I'll suffer through it. Like, I genuinely do. I don't wait for it to get to the right temperature. Why? I don't know.
So that you don't have to walk into freezing cold water if you didn't want to.
You don't have to walk into freezing cold water. Get over yourself. Be a man.
No, get it to the right temperature. Why would you do that?
I guess it's not that big of a deal. Just walk in. This one is, I genuinely don't wait. It's not because I don't know. I'd be much more comfortable, sure, but I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal. Let me just get in. That's how I see it. That is, and so that's what I'm assuming he's like that as well. I'm assuming it's not that he's ignorant. It's just that he's like, oh, I guess I can just wait outside. I guess that'd be fine. But because if my girl came to me and she was like, you could just wait, I'd be like, yeah, no, I guess I could, but I guess I will. But it depends on how I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm 50% on this one. But I do genuinely, I don't wait for it to get to the right temperature. I just get in. It's not that big of a deal. It'll be cold for a little bit and then it'll get warm. It's fine. Okay, there's a bunch more. We're kind of running out of time, so I'm just going to try to speed run through some of these.
Yep.
Okay, one guy didn't know underwear had sizes.
All clothing has sizes. That's just weird.
Okay, in his defense, if he was, maintaining a relative weight for an extended period of time, he wasn't gaining weight and losing weight, he hasn't had to buy underwear since he was like, I don't know, 17 or whatever in high school. I can see him getting to like 23 or 24 with the same pair of underwear and his mom just bought it for him. And like, I'm 10% on this one. This one I'm not. I'm trying, but this one's, yeah, I get you. That's weird.
No.
Okay.
They'll pass.
Next one is, one guy didn't know that mammals don't lay eggs. Do you believe that one's true?
Yeah, I think that might be.
You believe a guy can make it to adulthood and be like, I didn't know mammals don't lay eggs?
I think if you're just not paying attention in school and you're completely in La La Land, yeah, I do think that can be true.
Yeah. So I was going to defend him. I was assuming you'd be like, no, this is crazy. I didn't think you were gonna be for him. I looked up a list of mammals that don't lay eggs: platypus, echidna, and I think that's it. Okay, I don't know. That's a weak argument. 10% on that one. Okay.
Oh, sorry. To clarify, you looked up mammals that do lay eggs.
That don't lay eggs.
That don't lay eggs. Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no. Yeah. Sorry. That do lay eggs. My fault. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is platypuses or platypi and echidnas. Oh, I was trying to compile a list. But it was
that
really,
would be.
Yeah, but it was really only 3.
It's the 2 items that really defended.
Okay. Another guy didn't know to poop with the toilet seat down. He thought it always had to be up. First of all, do you believe
That's
that or
a
no?
failure on his parents. No, I don't. That's a failure on his parents.
But do you
There's
believe
no
it's
way.
actually true? Or you think the women just lying?
I think the woman's lying.
Yeah, no. Okay, I agree.
think the woman's
But in his defense, me trying to defend him, this is the feminists' fault. Hear me out. I can see feminists being like, "Oh, the patriarchy's always keeping us down, and you always just leave a toilet seat up, and from now on, like that's how you're gonna have to poop too. If that's how you pee." I don't know. I'm 20% on that argument.
Okay.
I can see
Well,
that.
that
being a
one
thing.
out of nowhere for sure.
How to shower. I believe that. I think guys, we kind of just.
What do you
put
mean how
soap-
to shower? There is no rule on how to shower.
True, but maybe she had a specific. I don't know.
So that's specific to
routine.
her. I don't think that's like there is no one way to shower.
I agree.
That's a her issue.
But I can
Okay,
see that
go
being
on.
true. As I'm saying.
Okay.
How to load a dishwasher? Again,
I think that's true.
I've never owned a dishwasher. Like I've never even loaded one. I have no idea how to load one.
All right, here's funny. This is from experience. I've never loaded a dishwasher before,
Right.
except for when I got the house and there was a dishwasher and I used it for the first time. I was actually confused at how I should I put things here, but I placed it in a way that made sense to me and what would be the most effective way to clean it. That's
Yes.
where I'm different from other men who just don't.
And it was
try.
probably all wrong. Okay.
Go ahead, continue.
Just because it makes sense to you doesn't mean it's right.
There is no one way to load a dishwasher.
I'm pretty sure there is. I don't
No,
know.
there
We've
isn't.
always hand washed our dishes. We're Mexican, so.
Yeah.
How to floss. I
Okay,
can see
maybe.
that. How to
Yeah.
use a trash can. I think she's lying on that one. There's no
Yeah,
way.
I think she's lying.
How to text back.
That sounds personal.
She seems
No.
needy.
Yep.
How to make rice. I believe
There's a way
that
to
one.
make rice, and I was taught how to make rice.
Yes, most people just use rice cookers. I get that one. How to stop drinking milk with spaghetti.
What? That one sounds like that's an ick kind of thing for the girl.
It just sounds like he never grew out of eating milk with stuff.
Drinking milk with stuff.
Or drinking
yeah.
milk. Yeah, drinking milk with stuff. How to apologize without blaming me. Again, we already said it. It was
Personal.
probably her fault. How to close cabinets.
Oh, also just a nuanced particular thing.
My dad did teach me how to close cabinets because when I was little, I would just close, close. But he's like, yeah, hey,
No,
close
he
it
yelled at you
slowly.
because you did not close it enough.
So what I'm saying is, I can believe this happening because like if you didn't have a dad to yell at you about slamming the cabinets,
I don't even think it'd be the dad. I think it'd be the mother yelling at you. So what about that?
Okay, you're
Both
orphaned.
parents. Oh,
Okay, you're orphaned. What now?
then you just had a bad parent who didn't know how to close doors.
You're orphaned.
Sorry.
They died. You have no
sorry.
parents.
I thought adopted parent.
Oh,
Then
gotcha.
The orphan carers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go for
How
it.
to stop putting a wet towel on the bed.
That
one-
kind
that one- yeah, that one, sure,
Yeah,
fine,
sure.
How to Google things.
Yeah, no, I
That-
think
that
men
one
are the
seems
best
made up.
at
There's no
Googling
way.
things. Yeah.
The one thing that I was surprised that did not come up is teaching men to use conditioner. Because I do think there's been a couple of guys now in my area circle or whatever that didn't realize conditioner was a thing, including myself, until my ex was like, oh, conditioner's a separate thing.
I give that one a pass because we're so used to the 2-in-1s or just
The
not even using
3-in-1s?
conditioner. Yeah, or the 3-in-1s. Guys just don't care about it.
Yeah.
Really. So that one makes sense.
Yep.
Anything beauty, body care related, guys generally don't care.
Right. As long as it cleans and doesn't smell stinky.
Exactly.
So there are things that are common sense to girls that aren't to guys. And one example I did want to bring up was recently we sold this little playhouse thing, right? The playhouse needed to be disassembled. And the girl came to pick it up. She was like, oh, do you have a screwdriver I can borrow? I gave her the drill, right? And then I was going to do it, but then I actually had a little bit of a crisis because I was going to do it myself. But I was like, what if she's like a crazy feminist? And she's like, no, I can do it myself. And then I'm going to get mad. I'm going to tell her to leave. And then so it's going to be a whole thing. So then I was like, should I still be a gentleman no matter what? But then she kind of just like reached out her hand. And so I was like, all right, fine. So I just gave it to her. She had never used a drill in her life. Like I could tell. And so I was going to ask you this. You're undrilling a screw, right? You're taking it out. It slips, like the thing doesn't catch it. What do you do?
You apply more pressure.
You apply more pressure. She was not applying more pressure, dude. I was like, what are you? It was just they're spinning. I'm pretty sure they were all barrido. What do you call that in English? A strip. I'm pretty sure they were all stripped.
Ah, jeez.
I was like, dude, you're gonna have a hard time rebuilding this. And then so
did you help her at least?
Yeah. Eventually, I was like, hey, if you push in, it'll come out. I know it's like counterintuitive. And then I realized I was like, wow, that's common sense to a guy. I don't know any guy who wouldn't know that.
That's common sense to a guy. I think that's common sense to a guy who's been around that. You and I grew up with dads who did work themselves.
So what I'm saying is it's common sense because we grew around our dads and our dads helped us get these things that we now consider common sense. These women grew up around their moms. So like the moms taught them the common sense thing that they think is common sense. You get me?
Yeah.
That's my only argument where it's like, these are common sense things to women maybe, but to men, it's not as much because we didn't really grow up doing these things.
Yeah, that's fair. But some of these things, I do think it's fair to call out. Like if you didn't know how to shower right, or
some of these things, sure, yeah.
Some of these things, like I don't think it matters if you did it with your dad or your mom. I do think some of these are common sense items that should be known.
But a lot of them, I can see why some guys wouldn't know.
Yeah. I do think so.
Anyways, that was it.
Anywho's, guys, we don't think that
AI should never be used to politicize your dead son.
Right.
I think we should invade Australia before they invade us.
Wait, hold on.
I hear they're building weapons of mass destruction. And common sense is different based off what sex or gender you grew up as. And they're
agreed.
And they're one and the same, by the way.
Women, leave them alone.
Okay. Anyways, thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you in the next one.
Bye.